Welcome into Toyville. Steven Cheryl with you here, hanging out on a Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. Portion of the show is morning brought to us by another season in DeMont. Spring has sprung, and it is all over another season. Head over there for all your Easter gifts, all your spring gifts. They've got a little St. Patrick's area I saw the other day on their Facebook page. So all kinds of fun stuff. St. Patrick's Day coming up in just over a week. Mm-hmm. Man, oh man.
I know.
What a weekend we've got coming up next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but after that. Man, we got we're going to a cooking class. We got St. Patrick's Day. We're going to a Bulls game. So all kinds of fun stuff.
And we're springing forward this weekend. What in the world?
Yep.
It seems like I don't know.
Jump ahead.
Yeah.
Spring forward.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking about different things, and I asked the world whether or not it was okay.
Hello, world.
Hey, world. What's up? How you doing? I asked the world if it was okay for me to finish off my soup by drinking the bowl. I try to get as much as I can.
Slurping out of the right.
I don't slurp. I'm not an animal. I just drink like it's a little cup. I drink like it's a. Now, here's a caveat. If I get a cup of soup, what's the difference whether I drink out of my cup or a cup?
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay then? If it's a cup of soup?
Mm-hmm. No.
All right, then.
And definitely not.
I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
No.
Slurped.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe spaghetti. That's why I get mastacholi, because then I can pick it up with my fork. I don't like spaghetti.
Now, do you get spitty mastacholi?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
And do you call it that?
I do. Christopher says, being raised old school, we were taught drinking from your bowl was bad manners all the way around. Right. So there you go. So thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you jumping in and helping me out here. So I don't do it in public, but at home, I finish off the soup that way. It's whatever. For the most part, I do try, because I like to have bread and butter with my soup.
Mm-hmm.
I will save bread, for the end, so I could sop up all the broth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. 26-year-old woman in Indiana, right here in Indiana, was arrested after police say she let a 12-year-old boy drive a car. Yeah.
Okay.
So, when I was in grammar school, we played flag football. That was our school didn't have regular padded football. We had flag football.
Yeah.
And they would we had practice at a park. And apparently, I don't really know what all the rules were, but apparently you could have kids on your flag football team that weren't necessarily from your school. I never understood this.
Well, then the league wasn't from school, right?
It was. I don't know what the rules were. You were allowed a certain, because we had one kid who was a really good kicker from a soccer team. So he came over and played with us. And this other kid, I remember, he was European.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he had when he moved here from Europe and gotten held back, he was a little bit older. I just remember him showing up. And he couldn't have been more than 14 or 50. And I know he wasn't driver's age, but he showed up on a dirt bike to practice every day, that he drove himself, like a motorcycle. And I was like, I don't think that's legal. I didn't say anything because what do I care? But I was like, I don't think that's legal. So, but I also don't think it's legal to, let's just say, let a 12-year-old drive your car. I don't think that's legal either. So this is from Evansville. 26-year-old woman was arrested after police said she let her child drive a car and endangered others on the road shortly after 1 a.m. Monday. Evansville police officers say a man called 911 to report his sister-in-law, Lindsay, took 3 kids out joyriding.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I mean, still there's curfew.
Yes.
On school nights.
Is there curfew, though, if you're with a parent, with an adult?
Oh, if you're right. Yeah.
According to an affidavit, this woman admitted to picking up 3 children after having a drink at Rick's Sports Bar.
So she didn't want to drive.
She reportedly told police she was trying to teach one of the juveniles, 12-year-old boy, how to drive. Officers say she admitted the child drove her and two others down the street. When asked, Pearson claimed, I didn't know the 12-year-olds couldn't drive. I didn't know. I thought they were allowed to drive. It's okay. What?
Poor
No.
police officers. I mean, seriously.
I'm with them. It's okay. Listen, I'm his aunt. I'm the cool aunt. Okay, it's okay. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. What they have to go through. Seriously. Could you imagine? Like you it can't be
I'm
faked.
sure the stories. Yeah. So when Pearson, when asked, Pearson claimed she did not know that 12-year-olds could not drive vehicles on public roads. Officers say Lindsay was taken into custody, was screaming loudly outside the apartment complex at 2 a.m. No, you cannot. This is okay. It's okay. I'm fine. Fine. Pearson was arrested and booked into the county jail on charges of child neglect, resisting law enforcement, disorderly conduct, and criminal recklessness.
We should have your dad on for a segment, and it should just be like throwback stories from his career, because I'll bet you he's got some.
I'm sure he's got some. Yeah. Let's see. Another idiot was 4 times the legal limit, had passed out in the driver's seat of a running vehicle, but he was like, "That's fine. I wasn't driving. It's fine. It's all fine. It's right here. I was sitting right here." Listen, driving under the influence is not sleeping in my car under the influence. That's not the law. It's driving. It's not driving. I was just sitting here sleeping.
Okay, I want to know. I'm actually typing this because I was a foreman on a jury in a case like this.
Okay. Now, are you allowed to say anything after the case?
Yes.
I know that's a
after
big
the
deal.
Case, yes, we couldn't before.
I know that's a big deal, so I don't know. I don't know anything about anything.
That isn't moving. But here's what she said. She said she took the keys and threw them so that they couldn't find the keys.
Oh, so there was no evidence.
So there was no.
All right. So this is in Canada, so I don't know if the laws are different there. A man with more than 4 times the legal limit of alcohol in his system was found passed out of the driver's seat of a running vehicle, but he claimed he wasn't driving. Durham Regional Police said the incident happened on February 24th at around 10:50 at night, when an officer on patrol in Ajax, which is a town, saw a vehicle stopped on a roadway with its engine still running. The vehicle was reportedly damaged and had multiple flat tires. Officer, how can I possibly drive? My tires are flat. The beer wasn't, but my tires are. The officer approached the vehicle, saw the driver was slumped over. Officers checked the driver, who was breathing but unconscious, found numerous signs indicating impairment. Officers were able to wake up the driver after multiple attempts. The driver repeatedly told police that he had not been driving the vehicle after they removed him from the seat. The man was taken into custody. Police allege he completed 3 breath tests, results of which were
bad, badder, and baddest.
Yeah, I mean, these are all it's metric. So 300 milligrams, 330, and 350 of alcohol in his blood. So I don't know what that equates to ours.
So in Indiana, the car does not have to be running for you to be charged with a DUI.
Yeah, the keys have to be in the ignition, right?
I don't know. It just says cops arrest people for DUI all the time, even though their car wasn't running at the time of the stop.
Gotcha. So it doesn't say what, but 4 times the legal limit. I mean, you got to figure it's 0.8 here. So you were close to 4 on a breathalyzer. That's not a good plan. Just saying. So, speaking of alcohol, while we're here, Busch Light and the dating app Plenty of Fish are teaming up. Nothing says love like hammered. That's like the Seinfeld episode. That Seinfeld says something like 3/4 of the world is undateable, and Elaine says, How are all these people getting together? Then he goes, alcohol.
Well, now there's one where there's a dating service where they pull your credit, and if it's not 680 or above,
I saw that.
Be on there.
Yep.
So I think this is like, if you're not drunk, then you're not interested in dating on this site.
Listen, if You know how we were talking about food turnoffs earlier? Like you're at a table and they're picking at your food or they're picking at your teeth.
Mhm.
Listen, you show up on a date with me and you got a case of Bush Light, I'm done. I gotta go.
Well, do
See
you
you
want to?
later.
You should
Yeah.
share the story about the about the girl before we dated. Do you remember you couldn't get her out of your house
Oh, okay. Yes.
with
So
the fifth of what?
fifth of whiskey. Yes.
Whiskey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I was scared because
She was in love with you though. And
uh
you're like, You gotta go."
well, because my first I thought we were just gonna be friends. I thought we were okay.
Yeah.
And she said that she likes a little like whiskey and coke. She said, just like you're having a beer watching a movie, I want a little whiskey and coke. So I thought, okay, we're gonna hang out. I didn't realize she kept going into the kitchen and adding more
Refilling.
whiskey. And so by the time the movie was over, like during a movie, I don't talk.
Right,
So we're just watching the movie.
right.
After the movie, she talks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's hammered. I go and look at the bottle, it's half gone.
Ooh.
This is one of those big bottles of Jack Daniels. I'm like,
And what do you do?
oh,
Because if she drove, you can't go,
right,
okay, you're out of here.
right. So I let
Ugh.
her stay on the couch, and I went to bed in my bedroom, separate quarters. I
Until
wake
you
up
heard,
to her. No,
Oh,
I woke up to her next to me, and she's like,
oh,
listen,
Steve.
I just want to talk to you. And I'm like, whoa, no. It was, scared the death out of me. I mean, I jumped out of bed and I'm like, nope, sorry. Drunk or not, time to go. Gotta go. You gotta go. See you later. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And she was so drunk, it was like that crying at everything. I mean, she was like, you know how when your kids are little and you want them to leave and they just want 5 more minutes of playtime.
Mhm,
So they just drop to the floor so that they're dead weight.
mhm.
That was her on my kitchen floor.
Oh my gosh. And you were an adult when this happened, right?
Yes.
Like your 20s.
30s. Yes. So
Dare I ask where you met her?
I don't
A bar?
even, maybe I couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Yeah.
Ooh,
Um
that's a scary story. Because she's on your turf. So now what?
well,
Ooh.
thankfully I had a tile floor on my kitchen, so that's where she fell down. So I just grabbed the back of her sweater and pulled her across the floor, like just sliding like a kid. Like she was on her butt. Like I wasn't like a caveman,
Right.
just slid on her butt. And I'm like, okay, we're at the door. You gotta go. Finally, I got her out the door, closed, locked. Now, mind you, I'm doing morning radio at the time. This was a Sunday night. I thought this was a Sunday night, 4:30, 5 o'clock, watch a movie, you go home. So now this is like in the middle of the night. Now,
And you got to be at work, alert.
now she calls me from her car to start telling me about how we should work things out. We could do that. I'm like, whoa. I'm like,
work things out.
You're a lunatic.
Right.
You're a drunken lunatic. No. There is nothing to work out. We went on 2 dates. 2 dates. No.
Now I get why I was so appealing to you.
Right. Well, I mean,
Well, yep.
you didn't show up with Bush Light,
Right.
and
Well, we're moving on. Moving on.
or your own bottle of Jack Daniels for that matter.
Oof.
So, all right, we got to wrap up over on 98 Gold. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back in a little bit on WLQI to play the pizza quiz and to end on a high note. So stick around for all that.